Well, here I am again in Dale. This week I'm heading east. Last week I went west towards Broadhaven. This week I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'll make it to Neyland. Again, about 23-ish miles, could be less, but it's going to be interesting nonetheless. There's a few more extra things to see on this side. Some nice views going through Milford, past the oil refineries, past the tankers. I'll see if I can show you some of the forts and World War II stuff on the way along. Catch you in a bit. I love looking at all these little old lime kilns dotted all around the Pembrokeshire coast path. Such pretty little things. Now the coast path signs are telling me to go down here. My route says on low tide, somewhere over there I can get across without having to take the long route round. So I'm not sure exactly where that is. I can spot somewhere over there where I might be able to get across, but nevertheless I'm going to go and have a look, and it'll be pretty anyway, even if it's not accessible. Well, that's good. A little bit of local knowledge has just informed me that there's something like a bridge down here that I should be able to spot fairly easily. So I've decided I'm going to take the prettier route rather than the longer route. Well, this is a much prettier route than following all the little back lanes. It's nice to see the lake on that side, and the estuary on that side. The sun is pretty low, so I hope you can see this okay. Yep, and thankfully it's all accessible. Well, that's where I started from, over there in Dale. A little bit of road walking, and then it feels like I'm walking on another planet walking along here. It's hard going walking on them stones. Right, just come off those stones now, and hopefully that'll be the last of the stones, and it'll all be nice trail from now on. This is Monkhaven in Musselwick. Dale Fort on the headland over there. Now I'm not sure what this was. Ooh, this looks interesting. guessing, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, these were World War II gun emplacements. This whole area was very, very heavily fortified in the war. This is just around the corner from the other two buildings, and unfortunately, by the look of it, I don't really think I can get a better view. Yeah, apparently, according to a friend of mine, World War II gun emplacements, and there's a couple of underground bits that are still up there as well. So that might be worth checking out one day. We're just coming round on Great Castle Head now. And again, that looks like it had some sort of fortifications built into the land. Unfortunately, as it's private land, that's the best view I'm going to get of Great Castle Point. There's just something about these that I like. Quite imposing, sinister looking things, almost alien-like. Right, we're coming up to Little Castle Point now. Yeah, I think I'll latch the gate then. Well, that says Milford Haven, 8 miles on the high tide route. That says it's 4.5 miles on the low tide route. Well, I think the low tide route's going to be prettier, so I'm going to try and head for that, see what happens. The low tide route at Dale was available, but I haven't checked out the tide times for this area, so we'll just go down and see what happens. Well, it looks like I could be in luck. Yep, that's looking pretty good to me. Yeah, I think I much prefer this route. Well, that was quite handy. I caught both shortcuts on low tide, so I skipped a few miles at Dale, and I've just skipped a few miles at Sandy Haven. And I'm sure both much prettier routes. Well, I think I'll be obeying that one. Well, I was just thinking I hadn't come across any wartime structures in a while, and I come across these gun turrets. Well, this is just off the path. is quite a large, or was quite a large World War II gun emplacement. It's a lot more overgrown than what it was when I came down here a few years ago. All that dip in there was completely clear, and so was an awful lot of the stuff on the other side. But it's got small underground bits to it. It's got offices, storage rooms underneath it. I'm not sure if there's any more that I can see, but I've climbed up on this fence to get what I can for you. I'll see if I can get some more, but we'll have to see. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of jetties and towers and all sorts of stuff for the Milford Haven oil refineries out here. A few tankers over there. The Irish ferry going off into the distance. And there's Stack Rock Fort again, with Thorn Island in the background. And on the headland over there, that's Angle. Some more old structures. And that over there is just the top of a fort that is within the grounds of the LNG site. Unfortunately, there's just no way of getting in there to see it. And that there, covered in all that ivy, is more of the cedar fences down here. Let's go and have a look and see what I can see. You can see there was some structure. And I've got a feeling this was another gun emplacement just around here. But not sure. No, unfortunately that was all I could see. Maybe one day I'll get in there and have another mooch around. But for the moment, I can't really get the camera out too much, because I know they are very strict around here about filming and taking photographs. This is one of the piers that goes out to the LNG tankers when they come into Southhook. It's quite an impressive structure, that, isn't it? And the size of the tankers that come into here, unbelievable. They are absolutely ginormous compared to the oil tankers that come in. That's probably one of the best views of the fort we're going to get from here. Unfortunately, I go through the town, so we miss that. There's no coast path or anything going through there at all. This is the beach, just below Hakin. Well, there appears to be a road here. Now, there's a cycling and pedestrian sign. So, does this stick to the coast path? Or is it a dead end and I've got to come back? Let's go and have a look anyway. Well, as it turns out, it was a dead end. But at least we come down and we get to have a look just a little part of the fort that's up there. It really is ginormous in there. Well, just down Conduit Lane in Hakin. It's off my route, but it's probably down here onto the edge of the haven. And it looks like an interesting old structure of some sort. Some big old gates. And whatever that was in there. Oh, that looks promising. Can have a look at that in a second. That looks interesting. Why is that bricked up, and what was that? That's fresh by the look of it. Oh, I wonder what that was. I'll have to do some digging on that one. Well, having saved myself a lot of time and a lot of distance doing the low tide route, I might as well come up here and have a nose around and see where these go. You see the amount of bees and flies on that. So it does appear to go somewhere. Let's go and have a look, see where it goes. But it is nice that so far it's keeping me right on the edge of the haven. Oh, this is handy. Let's go and see where this goes. This saves me going all through those noisy roads. Right. I don't know what this is all about. But it looks like I'm going to have to turn back a bit. Well, back we go, but look at the view. I don't think I've got to go that far back up here. I think there's a little lane, or a little set of steps going off to the right in a second. This is the big new hotel development, Milford Haven Marina. Although my path it's taken me straight down there and to the left of that big white building right down the end. I just thought as I'm here I'd take you down onto the marina front, show you all the shops and the cafes. I hope the wind noise isn't too much. Well, it's getting pretty busy down there, so I won't bother walking down there. But it's all nice little boutique shops and cafes. There's a nice fish and chip shop down there, and the little shop at the end we've just come past is a sweet shop, little old traditional type sweet shop, and it's fantastic. Coming from just past the hotel development, along the back of these boatyards, on the bottom of that retaining wall there, used to be a railway. It used to come off the line that used to stop at Milford Haven station, and it used to go down to a mine depot or an ordnance depot just outside the town. We might see a little bit of it, we might not, but that had tunnels buried into the hill, and it used to store arms and mines and all sorts of things for World War II. This cafe in front of us is foam. It's a really, really nice cafe, and it's got a lovely back room that looks over onto the haven. It's also the start of Milford Haven Pub. I'm going to head across the path now and go up onto what was the old railway line. But that's one I've not heard of before. That's just a bridge coming over what used to be the line that would come from Milford Haven station along here to the mine depot. The mine depot closed years and years ago, but at one point it was used as a sports facility. There wasn't trains running then, and to get to the mine depot the trains would have to go over quite a large substantial swing bridge. Unfortunately that's just been left to rot now because it's got no use. It's a shame they can't close it or put a bridge across to make the coast path go through there, but the mine depot has been derelict and abandoned and ruined for many years now. Right, now right over there, those old buildings, that was the old mine depot. And just in front of us, look, you can see still some of the old railway tracks. And unfortunately our path is not taking us down there. We've got a bit more road walking to do. But behind that building is a little valley with 6 tunnels buried into the hill, and some of them are still accessible as far as I know. I've been in a couple of them. The pier that goes out into the haven there, I've been out on that, and that is really rickety. It's really falling apart. But it was good fun though. And can you just about see that? That's the old swing bridge. Sadly permanently open because it needs to get yachts and other boats into here. But it would be nice if we could have a bridge going across and a path going through. Well, having just come off the estuary, I'm now right on the edge of Milford, just approaching Black Bridge, and according to the sign, got 330 yards of no footway, and it's quite narrow around here, so I'm not looking forward to this. Just coming down into Black Bridge now, and it's not a very good view from here, but that's a little harbour there, and some of that I've just walked along the edge of. Right down there is the opening that takes you out from this little harbour into the haven. That's where the swing bridge was. So I've walked along a little bit of the estuary and a couple of footpaths up by the side of the houses over there and up onto the road and back down again. Oh, that was a heck of a trek away from the side of the water, through Milford, through housing estates, finally heading back down on a lovely little trail down to the water's edge again. And I know this part of the path when I get down the bottom there, and I know it's nice, so I'm really looking forward to this bit. In the war, there used to be a boat that would go from one side of the haven to the other, and it would drag a net, and that net was designed to stop the German submarines coming into the haven, and this gun was on that boat. We're now coming up to Waterston Oil Refineries. Again, another massive site on the edge of Milford Haven. Right now I'm between Milford and Neyland, and just on the other side of that clump of bushes over there is parts of the mine depot. That's on top of the tunnels, and in some of those clumps I believe are some small buildings, only small sheds and things like that, but there's still a few little bits and bobs in there apparently. I don't know if you can just about make out the fence over there. Well, I think it's safe to say that this part of the path isn't used an awful lot. There's a strange beauty and gracefulness about those wind turbines I just find fascinating. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm not sure if we go through that tunnel or not. Looks like it. Yes, we do. Can you hear the clicking? That's the electric fence around the oil refinery. Can you hear the noise? This is not one for you if you don't like heights. It's really bouncy. It's like walking on springs. Oh, there's another one if you don't like heights. Oops. Security patrol just going under the bridge very slowly. The little white truck that was there. I thought I'd better turn the camera off. Pretty sharpish. Nice little old water pump at Hazel Beach. Pretty little church in Hazel Beach. And very close to Journey's End now. We're coming into Neyland, and thanks to the low tide I've made it here with plenty of time and plenty short on miles. Over there is Pembroke Dock. The Irish ferry that we saw earlier, that's where it docks, over there. They used to have seaplanes taking off over here in World War II. And here I am, done. There you go, you can hear my watch telling me that I finished. I'm in Neyland, in Brunel Quay. I've come from Dale. I've taken the low tide route, so that's cut a good few miles off my route today. So I've got here with perfect timing. My wife has just finished a hair appointment and she's just on her way to come and get me. So it couldn't have been better. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. From me and the great man himself, see you next time. The original Brunel statue there was stolen, never to be seen again, so they've had to put the cameras up. which kind of spoils the atmosphere around here somewhat. You can pause this one and have a read